The Cincinnati Bengals made the decision today to turn to Joe Flacco and trade for his services from the Cleveland Browns. Now, it's not necessarily a shocking trade because when we saw Joe Flacco get benched by the Browns before this last week's contest against the Minnesota Vikings in favor of Dylan Gabriel, I think all kind of had it in the back of our head like the next team who either loses their quarterback or currently has a not so favorable option at their disposal at the quarterback position, they're probably going to be the team to call either Cincinnati Cleveland for Joe Flacco, maybe call Atlanta for Kirk Cousins, even though that price tag is crazy. Um, Joe Flacco was the next guy to get moved. Now, the surprising part is the fact that it was Cincinnati. If you ask me, look, it was my biggest detractor about Cincinnati coming into this season. The defense is terrible. Last year, the defense was awful. This year, it's even worse. And that's even with the supposedly very happy Trey Hendrickson that he got his raise. And I don't know if he's so mad about the fact that he didn't get future money that he's trying to tank this season defensively. Same with Shamar Stewart because of how the whole debacle with his rookie contract signing went. But this has been a terrible start to the defensive part of this season. And the difference between this year and last year is that offensively, the statistics are terrible. Last year, they were, floating around top 5, top 10 in most offensive categories that didn't involve running the ball. This year, offensively, they're 29th in scoring, 32nd in total offense. They turn the ball over more than anybody. They run the ball worse than everybody else in the league. And I get it. You want to trade for somebody that can kind of take the pressure off of, especially Jake Browning, who it seems like this year has just not been ready to play. Last year he was solid. Last year he was able to kind of keep the ship afloat while Joe Burrow went down. But it's just not the same this year. And it again is just going to be interesting to think about the rest of this season because is Joe Flacco really the guy to save this season? And look, this season needs saved. If you're a Bengals fan, player, coach, front office member, anyone affiliated with this team, the season needs saved. But is Joe Flacco really the guy to do that? I know Joe Burrow possibly could come back, and I know that if this team is somewhere close to 500, whether it's a game or two under or a game or two over 500, this team has a chance to, possibly sneak into the playoffs, just like they did last year. But again, why? I almost am at the point where it's like it'd be more beneficial maybe to just tank. And at this point, you're trading away draft compensation. Having a tough time speaking right now, apparently. At this point, you're trading draft compensation. Is saving this season really that much worth it? And I know, again, there's the Trey Hendrickson stuff. There's the Shamar Stewart stuff. If you ask me, like a wholly new team around Joe Burrow is almost needed at this point. You have Jamar Chase, you have T. Higgins. Cool. Great. What good is it doing right now? Because now we're so enamored with possibly making the playoffs with those two guys, and we're so in our head that we paid Trey Hendrickson all this money. We drafted Shamar Stewart. We have all this money going to Jamar Chase. We have all this money going to T. Higgins. We have all this money still, even though he's not playing, going to Joe Burrow. We have to make the playoffs. We have to get there. We have to be a team that's winning. No, you don't. Sometimes you have these types of seasons where you just don't have to be in it. And look, Pittsburgh's playing really well right now in the division. And it's at a good time for Pittsburgh because Cincinnati's struggling, Baltimore's struggling, Cleveland's Cleveland. But look around at what is going on. Even if you force Joe Burrow into this situation where we look at it and the Bengals are 6-8 and Joe Burrow can come back and hopefully lead this 3-game playoff type run to get us into the real playoffs. And what good is it going to do? This offensive line is still terrible. I don't think Chase Brown is this typical every down running back. I don't think Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are good enough to carry this offensive workload. They're both great, but these last few years have not been good for Cincinnati. And defensively, again, no matter what you do on offense, this defense is awful. It is terrible. And we're really thinking that it's Joe Flacco that it's going to turn the tide for us in a positive manner. Not only do I not see it, I'm blind to that possibility. There's nothing you could tell me about how this team is currently constructed, taking out Jake Browning for Joe Flacco. It changes my opinion on this team. As far as this trade impacts the Cleveland Browns, I kind of love it because now there's no doubt it's going to be either Dylan Gabriel. It's going to be either Dylan Gabriel or it's going to be Shedeur Sanders. Now, we haven't seen Shedeur yet in a regular season game. In the preseason, he played okay. We hear a lot of off-the-field things. We see some off-the-field things that it's like, don't love it. So it leads you to believe it's going to be the Dylan Gabriel show until the end of this season. And again, I love it. They're going to get a lot of reps out of either one of those guys. And they're going to get a chance to see what this offense looks like, kind of rebuilt. They have a new running back in Quinshon Judkins. They have a new tight end in Harold Fannin. They hopefully have some young offensive line pieces that can help build that group in front of Dylan Gabriel or whoever the next guy is taking snaps behind center. And they have the all-world defense. And I don't think this is a sign that, maybe Cleveland's opening up the possibility of trading Myles Garrett or trading Denzel Ward or even trading guys like Jerry Jeudy or David Njoku or insert possible trade candidate here. I don't think it's opening up that possibility. I think what it is it's just, it was a foregone conclusion. Joe's probably not playing anymore. Joe Flacco is probably not playing. There's no point in having Joe Flacco play anymore. And a piece of why I still hate this move if I'm a Cincinnati Bengals fan, Joe Flacco had a 25-point-something QB rating. Joe Flacco was turning the ball over much more than he was helping this team put the ball in the end zone. Joe Flacco was not leading a quality offense for the Cleveland Browns. And if you're going to have that, why not just have the rookie in there getting those valuable snaps? That's going to be it for today's video. If you are a Bengals fan, if you agree or disagree with me, let me know why. If I'm totally wrong on this, let me know why I'm totally wrong about this. But I just don't see it for the Bengals this year with Joe Flacco as the quarterback. If you're a Cleveland Browns fan, let me know if you're excited, not excited about this. Happy to see Gabriel get the rest of the snaps or possibly Shedeur. And I'll see you guys in the next video.